Okay, you're gonna want to sit down for this. I know. We are actually gonna do just a casual get ready with me today. Yay! Recording in my recording room. And yeah, it feels good to be back in here. I spent all day yesterday cleaning this out. It was so dirty. It's just nice and clean now. There's still some things that I want to do, but I have washed all my makeup brushes. Everything feels so good and clean, and yeah, so it has just sort of lightened this whole place up in here, just in every way possible. And I am excited to record in here after a very long time. So yeah, I thought we would ease into this and do a real casual get ready with me. So thank you for joining me. So today I'm going to be using the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation. This has some squalane in it as well as hyaluronic acid. Love both of those ingredients. So this definitely is going to make your skin feel nice and hydrated through the day. I have worn this a couple times and it's pretty good. It's not my all-time favorite drugstore sort of foundation, but it's up there. It's pretty nice. It also has pretty great coverage. And I just haven't found my perfect match, and very seldom am I able to do that, honestly. So I did buy another one, thinking if I had to, I could mix them together. I've done that on an occasion or two, but today I'm just going to use this one here. So I'm going to just go ahead and use this. It's nice and clean. So I've already kind of, shaken this up, and I'm just going to put it directly. I'm going to do like a pump and a half on here. And I'm just going to start dabbing this, literally dabbing. You guys watch Kicking and Screaming with what's his face? I love that movie so much. I'm not like a huge fan of his, it's Will Ferrell, but I loved him in that, and I love that movie. And remember when he's like, literally wave when he got really mad at what's his face, Mike Ditka, who's also in that movie, plays the neighbor, and he got mad at him, called him juice box boy or something. This is a random thing there. Yeah, so this gives a very skin-like look. It feels very light on the skin, and if you're into matte, you won't like this. Not over the top when it comes to, super glowy, but if you live in a humid area, you'll find that your skin feels juicy all day, maybe too juicy, who knows, because that's the ideal climate to utilize hyaluronic acid, any humectant for that matter, but especially hyaluronic acid, because there's so much humidity in the air. Guess what's going to happen? That's going to sock it right into that hyaluronic acid, and it holds 1,000 times its weight in water. So you're going to have plump, gorgeous, juicy skin. So I know it's hard to live in climates like that, but that is a positive. I know you might get tired of me. I haven't experimented too much at all once I found this when it comes to concealers, because I really love this concealer. This is the Tint Idol by Lancome. It has pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, nailed it when it comes to the needs of mature, crepey eye tissue. We need coverage. We would like it not to accentuate our crepiness or really get in there and settle in there for the day. And we also don't really want it to move around much during the day, because that can lead to issues with that crepiness. This does a very good job. Once it's in there, it stays put. And I think with concealer, less is more. Get away with as least amount as you possibly can to give you the look that you really like. And I'm going to grab, I tried to get really super technical when I put these away so I can find things quickly. Here it is. Here is my absolute favorite brush to apply anything creamy around the eye. So concealer, maybe some eyelid primer. It's a beautiful brush. It's by Angie Hot and Flashy, the collab that she did with BK Beauty. And me oh my, what a great brush she created here. So I'm getting ready to finish up my Sunday vlog that's going to be coming out in just a few days. Today is Thursday when I'm recording this. So the vlog is going to be coming out, of course, on Sunday. And I'm going to finish it up by, there's a couple dresses that I got from Bloom Chick that I wanted to show you guys that are new to me. And you guys seem to enjoy my little fashion show that I did on one of my vlogs. That's something I've never done before, and it was fun. So this isn't going to be like that. I'm just going to kind of quickly show you a couple of them because I'm pretty sure I'm at the limit of time that I can add to that particular vlog that you'll be seeing on Sunday. Today, I'm going to do something that I've been doing, and I'm going to show you, and I love the look it gives me. And it isn't sticky or anything, so I'm going to show you how I use this at the end of my look, and it just does that little something something, and those are the best something something. So I'm going to show you that. Well, I haven't used this in a very long time, so I'm going to go ahead and use this L'Oreal palette here. Yeah, this is called Nude Intense La Palette. So here's what this looks like. Come on, camera, you can do it. So I think I'm just going to create a very neutral look. I'm not going to use the purple end. I think I'm going to use more of the center portion, which is those neutral browns. Do I want to use a primer? I probably should use a primer. I think I will, especially when I work with sort of drugstore eyeshadows to get sort of more pop and payoff with them. It is a really great trick to use a good primer because that will give you more pop with the pigment. Still using this here. This is the one that made me start using primers more often. I never hardly ever used, you know, like eyelid primer before, mainly because I couldn't find one that I liked. It's hard to find one when you're older, you know, and your tissue is more crepey and even a little more dry, even though I highly treat my eye tissue, but still. And then I tried this and love it. That's the only color it comes in. And it's just this kind of light peach, which peach is great for color correcting those kind of dark areas that we get, especially here in the corner. So I really like to get it in there. And then I use that same brush that I used for my concealer, and I don't really move it around much. I just sort of pat it, kind of pat it in. So I'm going to do that. Just kind of pat it in. This is going to make your eyeshadow last longer. It's not going to crease on you if that's an issue for you. I feel like that's more something that can happen if you get kind of oily eyelids, but this will prevent that from happening. So your eyes look more fresh and just done throughout the day, but I love the color correcting this one gives. And as mentioned, it also helps with the color payoff. All right, so we're gonna put that baby away. So what do I got coming up? Nothing going on this weekend. I'm pondering maybe visiting my daughter, the one that lives about an hour from here. Maybe that would be fun. You know, something else I want to do with her is she is very well versed, and that's kind of where all of her education is wrapped around too, is the body and movement. And she worked with a physical therapist for a while when she got out of college and found that wasn't where her passion lied at all. But anyway, she has all of this knowledge, you know, when it comes to the muscles and the bones and how to move. And then she became certified as a Pilates instructor, and she did that for quite a while. And so she's got all this knowledge. And I want her to show us some really simple exercises to help with our posture. And I think that is so important as we age, and I feel myself collapsing upon myself as I get older. You know, so I want her to show us some basics that we can practice in doing and building certain muscles to make them stronger so we can continue to try to have the best posture as we can as we get older. So I want to run that by her, which is one of the reasons why I want to go visit her. I'm going to go in with this color here. I'm going to actually load my ring finger, and I'm going to put that right on my eyelid. Oops, I should have knocked my finger off a little bit because I just got some fallout there. And I am going to kind of walk it here to the corner, but I'm not going to take it right in there because I want that to always kind of stay bright. If it's a little choppy here, that's okay, because let me knock this off. Let me get something to kind of do that. There we go. We're going to use something else right there. So I'm going to load that. Really press it in. That'll help avoid that fallout. And I want the majority of that to be right here in the middle, so then once most of that color has been placed there, I'll just kind of soften the edge here and kind of bring it up a little bit. I feel like I got that side a little tiny bit more intense, so I'm going to put a little bit more on this side. Okay. Really want to make sure that I get it to the very end there, to the lash line, so I might have to lift up a little bit because my tissue is kind of falling over. Now I'm going to take a real fluffy sort of transition brush. So this one's A503, and I'm going to go in now to this color here. And load that up. Now, as for my week, it's going to be a quiet week. I don't have any doctor's appointments. I'm going to load that up again and really tap it off. And my husband doesn't either. So I should utilize this for some project of mine that I have in my head. I have a few, but I'm going to try to get into my favorite flower nursery place and get some plants that I can make my deck look nicer. I kind of been wanting to do that anyway, and it is, you know, it is July, but I still been wanting to do that. This is 305, and I have that wrong because I don't have my glasses on, so you'll see the right number pop up here. And I think I'm going to go into this one here. I'm going to load that up with the short angle downward, so most of that pigment is going to be right there. And I'm just going to intensify the outer bit here. Gosh, working over a pigment makes a big difference for sure with this payoff, because I've worked with these eyeshadows without one, and it's pretty significant. It's a lot of help. All right, and then I'm going to take this and really soften that top edge. Wipe it off on my towel down here. see if I got it at all straight. Okay. I like to take that kind of right about where my arch is in my brow. Right about there. And then by the time I kind of blend it, it might go over a little bit more, but that's okay. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and contour underneath my lash line, but I like the amount of space it covers when I'm just contouring under here. So this one looks like it's 207. I hope that's right. Again, you'll see the right one up there. And then I'm gonna go. Okay, I just had to think about that for a little bit. I'm gonna go with this one. Sometimes I have to do this just to kind of stretch it out a little bit. And I'm finding the facial expressions I have to make these days are, you know, kind of funny, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then I really like to soften that bottom line there and blend it out just like any other, you know, application basically. Then I'm going to go ahead and close up this palette, but there's something I want to do and it's just not in here. So let me get that. This is a beautiful palette. I'll have to work out of this one soon, and it's not new at all. It's a Tarte palette. One of their C something. Anyway, so there are a couple colors in here that, well, this whole palette is beautiful, but these are not matte, but they're not over the top sparkly, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this one with my pinky, and I'm gonna put it here in the corner and bring it up just a little bit. I need more brightness, so I'm gonna make sure my pinky is indeed clean and doesn't have anything else on it. And then I'm gonna take this lightest one here, and I'm just gonna load it up. Anything, you know, like this is gonna work. And that's because I'm the darkest right in there, you know. It's like if I put dark colors in there, I'm gonna look so drawn. Now we're gonna blend it. We don't have to pan it quite yet. And if this is a little too light for your look, you can definitely use that other one that's sitting right next to it. Let me find my blender. And I'm just gonna soften that a little bit. All right, don't worry, this is all gonna come together, I promise. First things first, definitely have to curl the lashes. You know, it's kind of an important thing to do when you get older because everything is, you know, going south, including the very thin, delicate tissue of your eyelid. It's just slowly kind of drooping over your lash line, and that pushes your eyelashes down. So to make our eyes look more open, it does wonders to curl your lashes. I never used to curl my lashes, and then I realized, wow, my eyes look so much more open. This one I think is the waterproof, which I don't particularly like waterproof mascaras, but my other one is definitely done. It needs to go in the garbage, so I need to get another. But this is, accidentally got this one. I didn't realize they came in waterproof, but it does. Still very nice. But you know what I noticed? That the waterproof one actually flakes, whereas the other one, I never see flaking. I never do. It's just doesn't flake, but this one will do some flaking. It's not awful, but I just noticed it. I think because my other one really doesn't flake at all. All right, we're done with that. So now it's time for the brows, and I'm going to be using taupe in the billion-dollar brow. Yes, in taupe currently, and for a while. This has been my favorite. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of some color for the summer. I'm going to grab my favorite bronzer. Bronzer's so hard when you have fair skin, but this one works pretty well, so I'm going to go get it. So this is by Catrice. It is a kind of a baked, well, it is a baked. It's baked, and I find that it works pretty well for my fair skin. Yes, it has a bit of an orange cast to it, but it is so much better than some others that I have used. So I'm going to go in with something nice and fluffy. Do I want to use this one? Do I want to use this one? I guess I'll use this. So this is by BK Beauty, and it is 102. It's got some movement in it. It's not like it's super dense like this one, which is like this big giant kabuki brush, and I use it to finish and smooth out my whole face. I love this brush. But for now, we're going to use this one. So I'm going to dive right in, and I'm going to load this baby right on up, and I'm going to knock it off nice and good. And then I'm going to start at my top of my hairline, and I'm going to kind of bring it in. I want this brightness kind of right in through here. I want to keep this bright, so I'm going to create kind of that inner oval, if you can think of it like that. And then I'm going to do kind of that 3 on the side of my face. That's how I imagine it anyway. I am a very visual person. See that? And I tend to, that's how things stick with me. I don't know. So we do, and I just like to kind of brighten this all up. And if I want a little more here, I will go ahead and do that. Again, we have that kabuki brush that we can really smooth things out, so we will do that. I'm going to bring some across my nose and on my nose. All right, so now let's bring this out. This is 105. This is not called Big Giant Kabuki Brush. I don't even know what it's actually called, but it is 105. Put that back, put this one back. I haven't used this in a while, and this is definitely one of my all-time favorite blushes. I mean, if there was a list that said favorite all-time year after year favorite items, this would be on it. And this is also by Catrice, and it is their oil infused blush. When I first got this, I dropped it, and yeah, but there's still a lot in there. This is gorgeous. It has some gold in there. It is perfect for the summertime. It is absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous, but less is more. Definitely. I love the double sort of bristles that they have here. We got these little hair ones that are just nice and fluffy, and that way we really can go in light. M427. Hopefully they still make this. So I'm going to load those little floofiness, those little floofs up with this. I'm going to brush that a little bit on my towel down here. And I'm gonna put that sort of like right here on the apple of my cheeks. I'm bring it straight back. I'm not gonna. Yeah, so here, and then just kind of bring it back across the nose. I'm gonna put some here as well, and then I like to put my blush a little bit lower. I'll load that up and do all this, all that, this. I'm also a sound effect person. I like to go pretty light with my blush. Okay, now I'm going to show you just this fun thing that I've been doing. And you know, for a big impact, you don't need to do anything like over the top. Like, it's just like, whoa, you know, this is just a big step. Sometimes, usually, actually, the tiniest little things that have a very gentle, slight, soft little thing you're doing, but it is a big impact. And I have had this for a while, and I forgot how much I loved it. This always feels cool on your skin. It's lovely. but I'll show you. So I say this, but I didn't tell you what it was. So I'm gonna put that up here because it's iridescent and I can't read that, Save My Life. And I don't remember what it's actually called. But there's a little cap on here. It keeps it nice and sanitized and fresh. And I roll this up. And I use this kind of like a highlighter, but it gives this melted in kind of really pretty under the skin to the top kind of natural glow. And plus it feels so good. You're gonna have a hard time stopping because it's so cooling and it feels so good. But right on top, you know, of my cheek there and right in there, you can take your fingers and kind of pat it in. It doesn't feel like super sticky. Like I have the Jones Road. Have you seen that? It's all over in social media right now. And I do like it. But you do feel like you kind of have a little bit of this lighter feel of Vaseline on your face all the time. I mean, it's not that thick, but like a lighter version, something, even a tiny, you feel that stickiness kind of all day. It makes your skin look great and it doesn't bother me to feel that. And it does kind of juice up your skin as well. It's very hydrating. But there's something about this that I just love. And a lot of it has to do with that cooling, but it is also just an all over lighter texture and feel versus the Jones Road. Oh. So I don't go crazy with it. I'm just gonna kind of pat it in right in there. And then I'm just gonna do that. I don't know if you can see that. And I'll maybe even put a little bit here on my nose. And this also juices up your skin. It is really, really nice. I'm gonna line my lips the good old-fashioned way, and I'm gonna use my little nub here of the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. And yes, I'm sorry, I do have a healing cold sore. It's one thing I got from my mom. Bless her soul. That since I've been on Cymbalta, and this, I actually looked it up and it is definitely a side effect. I have been having the most vivid dreams every single night for the longest time. I'm talking, these are movies. These have plot twists, and most of the time I don't know they're a dream. They are so involved. I feel like I have this entire different persona, this entire different like world, and that's full of adventure. And sometimes, you know, it's always action. It's like action with sometimes more of like a psychological thriller. And one of these days I'm gonna have to tell you guys some of these. And a lot of time my best friend that still lives in California, her and I sat next to each other on the bus our freshman year in high school, and we've been friends ever since. And she's in a lot of them. Have I told her? Oh, I told her one, but I've had a couple others that I have to tell her because they're hysterical. But yeah, they are full-length movies, I swear. The plot's very involved, and again, there are plot twists even. So it's been something. I've been enjoying it, honestly. Okay, so this is a BK Beauty lipstick. Yes, you should check out their lipsticks. They're very creamy. I absolutely love their packaging. These are magnetic, so they will not fall off in your makeup bag or your purse. And they have a good magnet to them too. And they're super creamy. And my only complaint is I'm still hoping that they'll come out with true lighter nudes. And that's what I'm waiting for. That they do have some brand new ones, and I want to say there's 5 or 6 of them, so you should check them out. Okay, so I'll put the color up here that I'm using today. But yes, these are they feel wonderful on your lips. They're not sticky. They are not matte, but they're not super shiny either. So what I'm going to do is over the top of this, I'm going to use this here. I actually love these a lot. I haven't talked about them in a while, but I found them off of Amazon, and I will put them up here as well. I am going to blot a little Didn't do much blotting, but a little bit. And I'm going to put this over the top. These are more like a balm with really good color pigment to them. But if you use them by themselves, it gives you just the right amount of color, and it is kind of balm-like, so it's not like it's going to stick around for a long time. But none of my lipsticks, I don't purchase them for that reason. You know, I want to reapply them, I'll reapply them. So it's no big deal to me. But yeah, these are really pretty. And okay, so this is the final look for the day today. I'm gonna grab a couple of dresses that I want to share, and if I manage to get this out before my vlog and you want to take a look at those dresses, you'll have to tune in Sunday. And I'm all over the place when it comes to the time. I usually try to get it out, you know, before noon. That's my goal. But if it pops up, like when I post stuff on my community page, it should come up in your feed if you have subscribed and hit the bell for notifications. And I let you know. It's like, oh, it just launched. So check that out if you're interested. I do Sunday vlogs just about almost every single Sunday. And lately it's all I've been doing, quite honestly. So it's a miracle that I got this one out either this week or possibly even next week. We'll see. All right, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.